Hey there, everyone. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CARTERMATT.com.
This is your Blue Blood Season 10, Episode 3 preview. This time around, we are going into an episode entitled Behind the Smile, which sounds like it would be like the title of like a 90s, rock album.
I was thinking something more like the Joker.
Yeah, maybe. That's a really timely reference right now.
I went into that kind of dark space there. But
there we go.
Behind the smile.
Hey, Blue Blood's kind of dark show sometimes.
Sometimes.
We have some interesting questions to wonder about in this upcoming episode. Frank, someone from his past, is going to potentially have some dirty laundry out there, and nobody likes dirty laundry. You want to just throw that stuff in the washer.
Move on.
Yeah.
Let it go.
You just want to make sure things are nice and clean, so that might be a problem for Frank. Also, if you saw the promo tonight, you know some tension is a brewing between Jamie and Aaron over a decision Aaron made many months ago. We are going to break that stuff down. We're going to give you the spoilers, the predictions as to what could be coming. But before we do anything else, if you like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Every Friday, we will be back to discuss all things Blue Bloods with you guys. So, as we kick this off, why don't we just start to break down the synopsis piece by piece and give everyone a good sense of what you can expect here. All right, let's start with the sentence that's probably the most confusing. Like, we spent a lot of time trying to figure this out.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussion about this sentence because this story could really be, it's a little confusing.
And let's be honest, Blue Bloods promos from CBS, not great.
No, they don't really tell you much.
No, they're like 5 seconds, and half of it's usually just like staring at Tom Selleck's face. So we kind of just have to take whatever we can get. And sometimes the descriptions that they give us in advance aren't the best. But Frank's esteem for an old friend and late socialite proves to be a mistake when her son threatens to publicly reveal who she really was. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, this feels like this is some sort of dark secret going on. Here's what we know right now. It sounds as though this woman, this late socialite, her name was Mary.
Yeah.
And Mary has some sort of foundation based on what we've seen and some publicity photos that are out there for this episode already.
Yeah, some sort of care foundation.
Yeah, so she's involved, at least she was involved in trying to make the world a better place. And if she's late, she's dead. She's not there in order to do it anymore. So, of course, the question I have here first and foremost is, if her foundation was doing good in the world, why is her son, which, I don't know anything, but my preconceived notion right now, which may be terribly wrong, is to be like, why is this brat coming out now and, like, threatening to ruin her life? Maybe she is horrible and she deserves it on some level, but still.
Yeah, but she's not here to deserve it. This is what I'm not understanding what the motivation is. I'm sure they'll explain in the episode, but before then, trying to figure out what his motivation could be. Revenge? She's dead. She's not here anymore. There is no revenge. She's not here to feel the effects of it. Her foundation can, and all that will do is hurt other people.
And maybe hurt Frank? This is the part of this that we have another problem with, which is trying to like connect the dots from the Mary Foundation over here to Frank and whatever Frank's got going on over here. And it's kind of like we're all over the place trying to figure all this out properly. But, my theory right now, this is my prediction for this, is that Frank, he's either tied to this foundation in some way. Maybe he is a donor. Maybe he just really cared about Mary. And he's afraid that a reputation is going to go just straight downhill.
Yeah, and that it will ruin the foundation. It'll hurt him. It'll hurt his own family, his own reputation. It depends, obviously, what it is that Mary did that's so unforgivable that now that she's passed away, that people will... Because this is the thing about when people pass away, and I say this as a licensed funeral director. People have a different vision sometimes after someone has passed away, and a lot of the bad feelings and bad things that somebody has done kind of get washed away in that death. So I don't know how many people are going to still be that mad at whatever it is that she's done depending on how long ago it was that she passed away, if it was 10 years, 20 years, a year, yesterday, a lot of that sort of depends on how long it's been, and also what the foundation is doing for people. If there's a lot of people that are being helped by this foundation and getting care or whatever the foundation does, then are they really gonna care that Mary had a drug problem in the past? I don't think that they will.
This may be as big of a mystery as some of the cases that Danny Reagan has solved so far on Blue Bloods. So we kind of have to take a wait and see approach there. But we'll move on and we'll talk about a couple of other things that are going on here.
Yeah.
Because Jamie is asking Aaron for help apprehending a perp who shot at him after learning she chose not to send him to prison 6 months ago. And you saw a little of this play out in the promo tonight where Jamie, none too pleased about this, not exactly thrilled about this situation where Aaron, and Aaron's a prosecutor. I don't think Aaron would necessarily be like, you don't go to jail, like willy-nilly. She's not, Oprah giving away cars when it comes to get out of jail free cards.
I think she wants there to be some sort of punishment for the crime, the best that she can get together. She still has to work within the confines of the law. So sometimes that allows for deals to be made or other things to happen. It's not as cut and dry as Jamie might like it to be.
Yeah, and I'm sure in this case, Aaron probably tried on some level, but maybe the defense attorney arranged some sort of very specific plea deal. Maybe he was used in order to pin down some other people. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter because what matters right now is Jamie may lay on the guilt trip a little bit here.
Yeah, and I get it from where he's coming from. He's just been shot at by someone that could have not been on the street and not shooting at him. So, is he going to be pissed? Probably. Should he be pissed? Yeah, probably.
I don't know if I would want to be Aaron because Aaron is in this position where everyone in the family is always just kind of mad at her for various things.
Yeah, she's in... Of all the jobs that everybody has, she really has a really tough job being over at the DA's office and having a family full of cops. It's not easy for her.
It's tough, and it's a tricky thing, but maybe we'll see her kind of find a way to handle that in season 20 of Blue Bloods because it's not going to take any time soon where all of a sudden it's going to get easier.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's get into what is going on with Eddie. Because maybe this is the Eddie storyline that's separate from Jamie that we've been kind of wondering about. Because we're going to see Eddie's new boss, Sergeant McNichols, in this episode. And as it turns out, they're not always going to be the best of friends.
Yeah, and I mean, it also depends on what this new sergeant knows about her. I'm assuming everybody knows that she's married now.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's spread through everywhere, so maybe the new sergeant wants to put her through the gears. Oh, you're a Reagan now.
Yeah.
Well, let's have at it then, Reagan.
Let's see how tough you really are.
Yeah, it could be something like that they want them to extra prove themselves because they've married into the Reagans and there's now no Reagans around to really help her. Not that she ever needed anybody's help, but that's how she may have been perceived, which was something that she's been worried about.
Yeah, and I also think to go along with all of this, maybe this sergeant kind of views this as an opportunity to kind of just take that career ladder and just climb up that a little bit and get to that next level where they're like, oh yeah, I commanded a Reagan. I did it effectively. I got her in line.
Yep.
Look how cool I am. Maybe that's a component to what's going on here as well.
It could be, or it could just be something as simple as these two personalities just don't match up, and that sometimes happens with your boss.
It does. Finally, let's get into Danny Reagan. We don't have a lot to go into here other than that Danny is just dragging Baez into a case involving a suspicious grieving couple. Now, we could take this at face value. We could try to extrapolate and just try to pull every last ounce out of this as possible and talk about, okay, well, maybe Danny, he grew up around a grieving family. I mean, he spent time with it after Joe ended up dying. I know that wasn't until later in his life, but still, it's a part of it. Maybe he was drawing from some experiences here and it's clouded his judgment. But I'm reaching. I'm reaching really far with this. I'm like
Yeah,
getting up there and grabbing like the cereal off the top shelf.
For a synopsis that has 6 words in it, for
Yeah.
that it's difficult. All I'm seeing is that it's a suspicious grieving couple.
Yeah.
So clearly there's something sketchy going on with them. So
Danny Reagan on the case.
Danny Reagan is on the case.
And maybe Baez will get him in line if he's going a little bit nuts. That's all we know.
Yeah.
But for now, we want to know what you guys want to see on Blue Blood Season 10, Episode 3. So let us know in the comments below and give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking out that link in the description to the CARTERMATT store. And we'll see you here next time.